Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about the Joe out, Kamala in era. And this is and specifically, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about, can Kamala change anything? Can she can she reassure America that anything will change in her uh, during her if she's elected president, right? Because there's a lot of evidence that absolutely nothing will change, and that if you elect Kamala, you're going to get what we got for the last 4 years, right? And because she was in, right, there was no one was blocking any of her ideas. Everything she wanted to do could have gotten done, and when we look at it, it looks like she didn't want to do anything, like change anything, and it doesn't look like she did change anything. Honestly, I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say one single thing Kamala Harris accomplished as VP. Not one. All right, so it sounds like she brought literally zero ideas to, you know, to whatever was the president during between 2020 and 2024. And there's zero evidence that any of her ideas got blocked, right? So it means what we have is she's responsible for it, right? So let's jump into this. So first of all, what do we get? So, and the reason we're talking about this is trust and believe. I get it. President Donald Trump is not a great candidate, right? And the biggest thing is it comes from this honesty thing. He is literally, in my humble opinion, he is literally allergic to truth. He can't push truth out of his mouth. He lies constantly. And let's be super clear. Right now, my vote is going to Trump. And the reason why is I can't endure 4 more years of what we had in the last 4 years. And I couldn't endure 4 more years of what we have in the last 4 years. And I believe if Kamala Harris gets in, it's going to be a multiplier on every factor of suck that we had for the last 4 years, right? And it's going to be bad. It's going to get really bad, right? So Donald Trump, no one is excited to, well, no, that's not true. There are people who are extremely excited to vote for Donald Trump. That is part of the issue, right? Like, absolutely no one is. People are considering, voting for Kamala Harris, but no one is excited about voting for Kamala Harris, right? So what do we get if Kamala Harris is in? Well, here's what we got for the last 4 years. A completely broken economy. It's broken. Like, inflation's through the roof. It's been through the roof constantly. Jobs aren't being created. America's not moving forward. The economy is broken. And if you say that's not true and you try to spin some noise, the vast majority of people, and this is openly discussed on podcasts across the country, on liberal podcasts, right? Or like, you'll find what I'm about to say on Slate Political Gabfest. If you say that the economy is not broken, people will openly say you're gaslighting. You're gaslighting. It's so obviously broken that you'd have to be, a millionaire or a billionaire to not believe it's broken, right? And so so you got a fundamentally broken economy. You have crime that comes to your doorstep. Crime that comes to your doorstep routinely. Crime that comes to your doorstep routinely, right? That's upsetting to people, and it makes people frightened, and it makes people upset, right? And people are like, I don't feel safe, right? It's crime that comes to your doorstep. That's Kamala's world, right? Broken economy, crime that comes to your doorstep routinely, right? And then last, an absolutely an absolute jackhammering of the American dream, right? The American dream, what is it? 2 kids, 2 cars, house, chicken in every pot, right? Like, it's just a house, and in the driveway of that house, 2 cars, and in the rooms of that house, 2 kids. That's the American dream, right? And increasingly, young people are like, I can't even get 1 car, let alone 2. And I certainly, and it's laughable to think I could ever afford a home. And so if I can't afford the home, I'm not going to have the kids, right? And so increasingly, under Kamala Harris, a complete and utter continued destruction of the American dream. So And so what she needs to communicate now is there any possibility she could change that, right? There is. She could absolutely do multiple things to change that. But right now, her campaign is assuring that she's not going to do any of those things. What could she do? Well, one, she could say, we're going to colonize the moon, right? That would spark an industrial revolution, the likes of which we haven't seen in 100 years, right? And it would cause huge profit in America, and America would get the moon, right? That's real, right? And that would just be a launching pad to get to Mars, and America could take Mars, right? It's huge, but it would take risk, it would take courage, right? What else could she do? She could say, we're not going to space, we're going to right here. We're expanding America from 50 states to 100 states within my first four years as president, right? And then invite other countries to join America and be split up into new states. And in 4 years, add 50 more states to America. Huge opportunity. She could change the face of the earth. She's not doing it, right? And so this is the point: is she's walking around just repeating campaign slogans and not doing anything that takes risk or courage, and not doing anything that promises any real change. And I'll tell you right now, you want to talk about getting no change. Tim Walz, a no-name senator from a state that not many people care what happens in that state, except people in that state, right? That, she's like, trust and believe, absolutely nothing is going to change. Tim Walz brings no change, nothing of innovation, nothing exciting, nothing of even recognition. No, it's not that anybody isn't excited about Tim Walz. No one recognizes who Tim Walz even is, right? So right now, Kamala is hey, if you elect me, you're getting 4 more of what you got before, and it's going to be far worse, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.